But what has been more of a challenge is the fact that Maricopa County has intentionally done everything in their power to sabotage it, to withhold information, to be less than honest with the public about this. And so it's created a huge problem. So as you can see, they're starting to stumble over their own words and not making sense. So along with that, so not only has the auditors had problems in us getting the information we can from Maricopa County, they have purposely, they withheld the blue tally sheets. We have not gotten the chain of custody. We have not gotten the routers, the passcodes, the fobs.
Yesterday, I sat down with Arizona Senate President Karen Fann to talk about that hearing, to talk about the Arizona election audit in general, and what we know and what we don't know at this point. We're going to be publishing the entire video of that interview very shortly. In fact, when I walked into the studio, it was literally in the process of uploading to Rumble and to our YouTube channel. So you can go there when we're done here. I know you won't want to miss a second of this coverage on WJ Live. So when we're done here, you can go there and you can watch that entire interview there. But here's a very quick early look for you at one of the topics that Senator Fann and I talked about.
But what has been more of a challenge is the fact that Maricopa County has intentionally done everything in their power to sabotage it, to withhold information, to be less than honest with the public about this. And so it's created a huge problem. So as you can see, they're starting to stumble over their own words and not making sense. So along with that, so not only has the auditors had problems in us getting the information we can from Maricopa County, they have purposely, they withheld the blue tally sheets. We have not gotten the chain of custody. We have not gotten the routers, the passcodes, the fobs.
So I asked Senator Fann, because she said in that clip, as you heard, Maricopa County election officials were being, quote, less than honest. So a little later in that interview, I asked her, okay, what do you mean by that? Are they lying? Are Maricopa County election officials lying to Arizonans and, of course, the world, because everybody's watching the results of this audit? It's the first of its kind, really, in the nation. She, in response to that, gave me 3 examples of Maricopa County elections officials being dishonest with voters. And she summed up her answer to my question as, so, yes. Are they lying? Yes, according to the president of the Arizona Senate. Again, you can watch that entire interview as soon as it's live up on Rumble very, very shortly, and it'll be on our YouTube channel as well. So that was just a little taste. But so Cameron and Olivia, Senator Fann has been very adamant that the purpose of this audit is really about making sure we get it right in 2022 and 2024. That it's really not about trying to reverse the results of 2020. In fact, she told me some of the hurdles that would be involved in even trying to do that, and it's practically impossible to decertify the Arizona election results. It's not impossible. There is a process, but there's just there's lots of processes. Getting them to actually work is another matter. So it's not really what she's looking at is trying to make the next couple of elections run well in a state where Donald Trump lost to Joe Biden by fewer than 11,000 votes. So people need to really be able to trust those counts. So my question is, why would Maricopa County election officials resist that kind of effort? They've been resisting from the very beginning. They initially said we would help do an audit. They do a joint audit between the Senate and the county. State and county officials will work together to do that, and then they reneged on that and have really fought it tooth and nail ever since. Why? What possible motivation could local county or county officials have to resist those efforts? Cameron, any thoughts there?
Well, I'll say this first. I think if Maricopa County said from the beginning, we are flat out, no way, not complying to any sort of form of audit, that probably would have put this whole thing a more clear-cut spot. than what they're doing right now, where they're giving bits and pieces of information. And that's going to be, in the end, that's going to create more issues than if they were just flat out no compliance whatsoever, or if there was full compliance. What they're trying to do right now is they're trying to kind of play fast and loose with this, where they're going to give a little bit here and there, but they're not actually going to give the full details of things. And I watched a good chunk of that interview, and whenever I praise a politician, I regret it a week later. So I'm probably going to regret saying that right now. But Karen Fann seems to be one of the more reasonable voices in this audit right now, this whole situation, whether it's someone for or against it. And they seem to understand what the purpose of it would be. Now, I totally understand that there are concerns of people having like Maricopa County could have been like, no, we're not having any private company touch this whatsoever. But the way that they are acting, where it's bits and pieces of info, like sending these things, that's where we're creating an issue. And whether it's in a workplace or on a governmental level, when you don't have clear communication, that's going to do a disservice to, in this case, it's the public. If you're looking at a company, it's the consumer. What we're seeing here is a clear lack of communication. And what Karen Fann is saying in this interview is, hey, if we complied on this, if we worked on this, we wouldn't have ran into these sorts of problems.
Yeah, that's right. The county initially said, "Oh, sure, we'll do an audit. We'll use these two companies to do it." So it's not about private companies. The problem is the two private companies that they suggested, neither is an auditing firm, and one of them was the one that certified the machines in the first place. So they're auditing their own work. And I even said to Senator Fann yesterday, "Look, auditing your own work is how I passed high school French." So I get the desire to do it, but that's not a good way to ensure election integrity.